Hey everyone, welcome back to another gearing up for Beyond Light for new lights. This will be our final episode. I know it's been a long time since we did an episode, but there was quite a bit of stuff going on and some farming to do, and we were actually thrown for a little bit of a loop when it came to the armor and how stuff was going to work in Beyond Light. So we're going to go through that a little bit today and talk about what's going to happen in basically a few short days. We're coming up on that final day. It is currently November 7th, and we get the new DLC on November 10th, so we're on the door of that. So thank you guys for hanging out for the series. We will be doing another new light playthrough. So what I'm going to do is, since everything is being bumped up in our inventory and our vaults, all of our weapons, all of that is being bumped up to 1050 power, which is what we are currently sitting at. We'll actually jump in here and take a look. Oh my goodness. So you can see here my gear score is 1050, and then my bonus 6 will just bring that bonus. So what I mean by all of our gear is going to be being bumped up to 1050 is everything in your inventory, whether it's here or in your vaults, everything is going to be bumped up to 1050 power starting on November 10th when the DLC happens. So anything you have on you, all of your characters, all their gear and everything will be bumped up to the exact same power. The reason that is slightly disappointing was the whole premise of the grind that we were doing with the Beyond Light series was getting all the way to our max power. So it kind of made that grind a little bit somewhat pointless, but we did get a lot of gear out of it. So we did end up with some really great weapons for PvP and PvE. So we can't really be upset about that at all. Now, if you have any gear that's over that power, so you can see here, this weapon is 1052. This will maintain its higher than 1050 power level. So keep that in mind. Don't just be upset that you have these 1050s, or even up if you've been grinding really hard and you're up to 1060, that you have some 1060s that are going to be bumped back down to 1050. That won't happen. They will maintain their power level. Some touch-ups here. We did talk about these in a few of the TWABs. The Sturm and Drang. So Drang is becoming a permanent sidearm. So it'll be one of two legendaries that actually do not have a power cap. And we did touch on power cap of gear with sunsetting in previous episodes. So keep that in mind. Now, so Drang will become a permanent sidearm, so it'll be a legendary with no power cap. And in addition to that, so will Mida Mini Tool, which we never did get on this account. But if you did, you have a chance of actually going and getting that as well. You just have to go to the gunsmith and purchase it. Now, in the TWAB video they talked about exotics that are being vaulted, or items that you can't achieve anymore. There will be ways to get them. And it's just going to be essentially having some materials in order to grind them out. Now, with this account here, like I was talking about, we didn't get everything done just because we ran into a bit of a snag when it came to the seasons. But I will be doing a fresh playthrough of it again, so we're going to essentially take a look at what happens on my main account in the first week and see what happens with new lights and how it works. And then I will start a fresh go again on this account. So it'll be a little bit different. I am going to remove all of my weapons off of me and just keep the base weapons that you get when you start the missions, and we'll start essentially leveling and grinding again, and I'll pull weapons as needed from the vaults. It'll be a slightly different process than last time where we started 100% fresh. I know a lot of people that potentially are going into this might not necessarily need to be starting fresh. They might have some weapons already in their vaults. Okay, that's not rebound on this account. So if you have anything in your postmaster, you can keep that. So don't worry about, if you, like on my main account, I have exotics and a bunch of other stuff stored in here. Some materials are going away. So for an example, since the planets that you can acquire, Seraphite, Phase Glass, and Simulation Seeds are being vaulted, you won't be able to access those anymore. This material, if you have a lot of it saved up, will eventually be able to be handed into Spider after Season of the Hunt, which is the next season coming up on the DLC. So you'll be able to hand that in for Glimmer. So I would recommend maybe using it in the next season or so. I went to Spider and synced a bunch of it for legendary shards and made sure that I burned as much as possible. I left about 500 of each material on my main account just in case I needed to purchase upgrade modules for leveling while we do the day 1 raid. Or going into the raid, sorry, because you can't buy them from in the raid. So when we start the next playthrough, the power level we're going to be trying to achieve will be 1250, and then the pinnacle power is 1260. So there will be a bit of a new story to play, but we won't be able to get through all of that because we're not buying the full DLC. We will get access to the Cosmodrome as part of the New Light experience, so we probably will jump in and look at that. See if we can focus this here. We might as well buy this. It's basically the last day we'll be on this account. We don't have Exodus ones, so we're just gonna hand these in randomly. See if we get an exotic out of it.
Hope you get something good this time. And don't forget who gave
Our last couple umbrals. Oh, nice. It's actually a pretty fun roll. What's our other one on this? Okay, that one's better. So I'm just gonna delete that one. Interesting rolls on those machine guns. We'll probably deal with those later. Actually, we'll probably get rid of this one. There we go. Okay, so previously we did talk about bounty stacking in one of the videos. So if you guys are going to be trying to bounty stack and maximize your output from your season pass or anything like that, you're going to want to make sure you have your bounties all stacked up. If you haven't started, what I can recommend is actually just going to each vendor location. So let's go back up here. We'll run because why not? Do our tour of the tower here quickly. So if you have any clan members that are playing in the next couple days, what you're going to want to do is come on over to Hawthorne here.
Hey there.
And she's going to offer these clan bounties. So what you want to pick up is Raid and then also Ordeal Nightfall. If you have access to this one anyway. What these do is these are what I call big boy bounties. So they'll give you 12,000 XP when you have the boost handy. So make sure you pick those up. Get those done in the next couple days here before Destiny goes offline on Monday. So Monday night, Bungie is taking Destiny offline completely for 14 hours before Beyond Light. And you'll be able to preload on whatever platform you're on, and you guys can check that out as well in the previous TWAB videos. So in Banshee here, just pick up all of these essentially, as long as they don't relate to a planet that's being vaulted. So you see here on Mars, so we cannot pick this bounty up. We're not going to pick this up. This will be deleted. But everything else here is good to go. Don't do repeatables. They're not really worth it.
Till next time.
PvP, do not grab PvP or Gambit. That can actually impede your process, so don't pick those up. Don't do that. Then over here at Zavala. You're going to want to pick these up and do these in the next few days if you just want a little bit more XP going into it. In addition to that, what you can do is go to the EDZ. The Moon is an exceptionally good XP farm because the bounties are actually quite good. Nessus, and don't worry about Tangled Shore or Dreaming City. Their bounties really aren't worth it. They're very low XP bounties, so don't bother sinking those unless you have nothing else stored up. But what you can do is actually go right before reset. So reset right now is going to be in about an hour my time, so 10 a.m. Mountain. What you can do is just go to these planets beforehand, pick up the bounties right before reset, and then go back after reset and pick up bounties again, and then do them on those planets when you load in. That way you can kind of double down on the amount of bounties you can get done. So that's something you can do over the course of the next couple days to kind of prep up a little bit more XP for yourself. Other than that, quests, a lot of quests are going to be getting vaulted, so we didn't get through all of these here, but pretty much I think everything on this list here, with the exception of maybe the Ordeal, is gonna be removed. Going into, yes, everything on this list is gonna be removed. All these quests are gonna go away. So if you haven't finished any of these up and you want to, please go ahead and do that. I'm actually kind of sad because we do have the exotic engram one here, and we didn't get a chance to go do it. What's our shard sitting at? 20. We can't even buy from Xur today. No! We could have. So yeah, that's something that you guys can look forward to. like I said, we will be doing a fresh playthrough for this when we get into Beyond Light. It will be a little bit later, and we'll talk about kind of how that's going to work as we do it. But I think for now, that's going to be it revolving around this. So we did talk about what's going to happen with our armor. Everyone's getting bumped up to 1050. In addition to that, you may or may not get access to more subclasses with Beyond Light. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. We're going to find out once we actually get into that season. So really excited to see how that's going to play through. And we are going to have a ton of UI changes and things going on here. So if you guys have liked the content, please give a thumbs up on the video here. Subscribe for future content, and we'll see you guys in a few days in Beyond Light. See you on Europa.